Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to one more special call. Today we have our friend Kenneth from JUNI company, and we are going to present you an amazing tool and especially service, but this company is offering for not only Amazon, but also overall for all e-commerce sellers. So Kenneth, welcome to this call today.
Hey, Radul, thanks for having me today. Excited to help you guys out, share some knowledge where I can.
Thank you. Kenneth, can you please tell us something more about you? How did you start with all of this, and why e-commerce? Why all of this? How did you start? What was your first beginning in JUNI in overall?
Yeah, for sure. So it's kind of where we are at JUNI now. It's kind of, my values are very aligned with it. I used to work in traditional banking with HSBC, actually still wrapping it here and there. And during my time in traditional banking, I kind of felt that the customer was never really at the center of anything that's being done. Processes very slow, a lot of tracking for things that aren't really necessary. And I wanted to make a change. At that time, fintech was really making the news, a lot of strides being made in innovation. And when I moved to London for my master's, I took the opportunity to join a fintech, First in Payments, came upon JUNI, a bank for e-commerce. And everything just clicked, product clicked, their mission clicked with me. And after some really quick interviews, I really just fell in love and joined the team. And that's the thing. It's the products are the same. A lot of that stuff is pretty much the same. It's just how are we delivering to the client? How are we really just putting them at the center of what we're doing?
Yeah, that's great to hear that you're especially doing something what you like. So that's why I the same say to my students, I love e-commerce. That's something that I find myself, and sales, e-commerce, and testing and design, and all of these things are in. That's why when you are in something what you like to do, it's the job is not difficult. And it's your energy. It's always positive to spread even the good positivity about your company. I know that from the friends that met us and promote your company, they told me that the JUNI is going to be one of the good players in e-commerce, especially for Amazon players. So my question is, can you tell us something about the background of JUNI?
Yeah, so our founder is a founder
and partner. So
yeah, so he came has his own e-commerce businesses, and some of the features that we came out with initially were some of the main challenges he faced. Especially if you're running ads, a lot of times, whether it's any ad house, those ads go down. You have a physical card, or you have to pay for a virtual card somewhere, and it's not really that easy. With us, all of our virtual cards are free, and they're up in 30 seconds should anything go down. So yeah, that's one of the main ones. Saving time is also another one. Reconciling invoices that come from these ad houses that just create. Really, the main goal is to create extra mind space and save time. Then you can focus on what you want to do, is just growing your business.
Yeah, why JUNI is created? Is it from a personal experience of the founders, or how it's? What was the idea from the beginning for them?
Yeah, I think it like most things in innovation really just comes from a place of frustration, right?
Yeah.
So after so much time of really not finding a solution, like you said before, you pay a little bit here, you paid a little bit there to just find a solution, none of them really working. So at some point you just have to take it upon yourself to create it yourself. And so that's where this journey of theirs started. And from the funding we've gotten over the past 2 years, it's shown to really resonate with a lot of individuals.
Yeah, and how exactly the JUNI is helping the guys in business and overall? What exactly the tools you have? Do they have a tool, statistic, or something? How exactly the JUNI is helping people in e-commerce?
Yeah, so there's a number of ways, right? So we can start off with the automated reconciling I mentioned before. We also have the option of in the UK and new markets are rolling out a revolving line of credit product. For that, it's really just based on revenue that you do on a monthly basis. That really just saves a lot of cash flow. With e-commerce, especially with the seasonality of things, cash flow is king. It allows you to invest in new innovations, allows you to add more into scaling your product on ad houses. And probably one of the funniest ones I've seen is we have views and permissions. And the story about this is there's so many companies I've seen, they might be doing a lot in spend, they might not, but they might be throwing a personal Amex card around the office or exchanging that information to each other on email or WhatsApp. Clear security issues there. With us, you could have your entire team on the platform. They could create the cards as they need, and you just save a lot of time. We also multi-currency accounts, so that speaks for itself as well. But yeah,
JUNI also have this specific automation service for recipes to make life easier for the e-commerce sellers, for invoicing. I mean, for bookkeeping overall. That's why I told you that I have a call, this special call for a bookkeeping specialist from USA with a really great company for bookkeeping, and that's why combining those two services will be really beneficial for our e-commerce sellers.
Yeah, exactly. And we have about over 2,500 integrations now. And some of those are with accounting services like Xero and QuickBooks. And with that, when we reconcile this, we push all those back out to your accounting service. So again,
maybe I should connect you with this company as well, because they are also the great players. This Ecom Balance. And the Nathan guy is smart guy, one of the smartest in the industry that I know about bookkeeping. And the guys, he had the company free up, as I remember. He sold the company, and it was one of it's a multi-million-dollar company that they sold it in the early age when he was 26, something like that. So it's like a great. Now they make two big companies for bookkeeping. So I believe those companies can also work with you and have, especially cross-promote each other, can be really beneficial for both of them.
Yeah, it's actually a really small world. I connected with Nathan not too long ago with the conversation. Yeah, because he sold to a colleague of mine who was also an Amazon seller, and actually he ended up working with Thrasio. I'm sure.
He worked with Thrasio.
Yeah, so it's small place.
Small world. No, we are greatest minds.
Yeah, exactly. Great minds congregate.
Yeah, Nathan is one of my next calls, because he was supposed to be in JUNI, but I had this problem with the health, and then now we are for end of September after he had a call with me. So it's great to see that you are connected. Yeah, and
for sure.
My question is also like, do you offer any cashback money for the users?
Yeah, I think that's one of the best nice to haves, especially free cash flow, free up some margin. So all of your transactions that you do with our card, you get 1% back. Within the first 30 days of joining, you get 2% back on that. So, especially when you come on the Black Friday, things like that, it's always nice to get a little kickback, And it's simpler than a rewards-based system where you might want to do flights and stuff, but some people just prefer the simplicity of cashback.
That's good. But see, you're doing everything for us to make money, but how your company is making money then? How exactly compares to the bank and all of this, how the Junico is making the money? Is it
for sure.
Transaction, or how it's going with this? Because I know that your guys are transparent, and that's why I'm asking.
No, it's all on the chest. So, that's, like I mentioned before, I did work in payments for a while, and I learned how wild this area is, and that's why coming to JUNI made a lot of sense. We make our revenue on interchange fees. So basically, if let's say you use our card to buy inventory or ads with Amazon, Amazon would then pay us and Visa a percentage of that transaction for us to deliver that payment to them. So as opposed to you guys paying us for anything, we charge the merchant side. So
that's great. And how many users you have now? Compares as far as I was following 2021, I believe that you started, it was like that, 2021 or earlier, you had around 3,000 users. How many users you have now?
I'd have to check on those numbers, actually, because recently we had to change with a banking partner, and that kind of restricted our risk profile for a bit. And now we're kind of loosening that up and bringing that back out. But those are numbers I haven't seen in a while, because I've been focused on the partnership side for so long.
Yeah, of course. So it's growing, and even will grow now when you start, because as I know, you didn't promote yourself too much in Amazon space, because following these conferences and everything, I know that you are basically the new one, and even I'm not so sure, but maybe in my call you're one of the first. I mean, promoting in Amazon space.
Yeah, and so that was the thing. our partnership director, Kean Wright, he's big in the Shopify space, and he realized one of our biggest gaps was within Amazon. So he asked me to really just build out a strategy for us within that space, because we do have some aggregators on, we do have some sellers on there, but that's not our focus. So the total addressable market for us now, even without the US, is pretty large here in the UK and Europe. And it just makes sense. And there's a huge opportunity, especially, I'm sure, as you know, if you're paying for ads within the Amazon space, you get your sales revenue, but then they'll net out certain things that you've paid for in the platform, which at the end of the day reduces the amount of revenue that you take up for yourself. With our cards, we're able to make sure you get all of your sales and not have anything netted out. You pay as you choose, as opposed to your payment terms being dictated to you.
And this service that you are offering is only for the companies who are inside the European Union and England, as I know, right?
Correct. So right now we're actually in the process of getting some licenses in order, and then we will be expanding into other markets as well. But it's all on the roadmap so far.
I hope that you will jump in the USA market as well. So for promoting, we have a good chance for you to jump in there and to get a good audience. That's for sure.
Yeah, let's do it. It's a very competitive market. I mean, you see other neobanks out there. I think it was who was it? It was another neobank that made an entrance into the U.S. market. They were there for a couple of years, and they just decided to exit. I think it was N26 actually. They chose to exit the U.S. market after trying for so long. It's a hairy place, but we're gonna.
There is one company. I will not mention the name because of this call, but we spoke before that. Maybe you remember. It's like an online bank, similar to your, not exactly all the tools and services, but now what they are offering is a credit card. So, but the minimum for credit, you need to have as an entrepreneur, you need to have $50,000 on a bank account, ready so you can get the credit. So It's not easy to get the money, even if you are a starter, So it's if there is some kind of, because you guys are also kind of, sorry if I'm wrong, like a bank. You are doing everything that bank is missing to do for e-commerce. Because I know one of my cousins, the sister of my mother, is director of the bank, and I know exactly how the banks function when I was as a kid. And we spoke about e-commerce and all the things that I'm doing, and she's director of the bank, one in Serbia, a really big bank. Yeah. And I say to her, she said, Rad, how much we are missing as a bank to offer the guys on internet who are starting the business. And the company even doesn't understand or is not willing now to learn. And I said, give one guy to speak with us and to follow what we are doing. They will jump in easier in e-commerce, and they will grab. This is the piece of pie. When many people who have money or need the money want to jump into the business, but they cannot get the credit from the bank. There is no way you can give them like they can guarantee you because of your business or but in USA, for example, they're already doing this.
Right. Yeah, and that's why you also do see a lot of traditional banks are either partnering or buying up a lot of these fintechs, because I say this a lot of times, like the rails are the same thing. The product is very similar. It's just how are we delivering that solution to the customer? And in our case, it's technology. That's where financial technology comes into place. Exactly. So yeah, it's just about making things a bit easiher. That's what. So for underwriting on our side, when it comes to our credit product, we do use the information and data that we gather from these integrations. When we're looking at, whether it's a Google integration, a Facebook integration, we can look at that. You can integrate traditional banking accounts that you have. We take a look at that as well. And that's also working on the Amazon integration. So we can really just underwrite. We can see what's on the Seller Central. And so we can underwrite appropriately, as opposed to just looking at, 3 months of bank statements, because that doesn't tell a full picture.
Yeah. That's good to have a good connection with Amazon. So you can jump in there as integration. We have one, maybe you know the name. I will give you the name in the email. And you can get with the guys who are really closely related to the head of the Amazon team. So you can get promoted even with as a partner to get in this inside this space of Amazon as a partner, because this service is for sure is a great. I was honestly personally surprised about all of this, because this is such a time saving for many documents that we need in a private business. And so you're combining all of these spendings around, and you are using and seeing everything under the one dashboard. When you sent me the demo, I was really like combining all my credits for all my spendings around, and I see them under one platform, and my invoices are so easy, ready to use and to give to my big bookkeeper to finish the job.
Yeah,
it's simple. So simple was, I mean, it's not simple to get idea. You know, we need to be experiencing something, but it's really great idea how it was made.
Yeah, 100%. So like I'm sure if you look at, you know, when you're using Seller Central, even though you do get a lot of information in that one dashboard, you still probably have a number of other tabs open just to make sure that you have a full picture of what's going on. It's the same, and even more so when you get into Shopify and WooCommerce spaces, because there's just so many things that are going on in your business. With us, we just want to have it in one place. You don't have that many tabs open, and, you know, again, just creating that headspace.
Yeah, I'm really wondering what is the composition of your users? What type of users are JUNI? Are they Amazon FBA sellers, Shopify, I mean, general e-commerce, or they are gamers, media? Who are they?
Yeah, so we used to have a large population of affiliates and affiliate marketers and dropshippers. We've kind of moved away from that, but now we do see a lot of e-commerce brands. To some degree, there are some marketing agencies, depending how their business model works. But if we're looking strictly at e-commerce sellers, you know, especially for the Amazon side, we do have some aggregators on there. We do have some individual sellers. I think a lot of the value does come, of course, there's value for those just selling on one store, but just how you look at on Seller Central, you'll see they really divvy up your stores and brands in a way that's easily to read. On our side, that's how we kind of follow with our accounts, and that's where right now a lot of the aggregators are multi-brand. Amazon sellers are finding most of the value, just seeing all their financial picture in one place across the businesses that they have.
Do you know how many percent of all of those users are the high spenders?
So if we tier it out, the Amazon spenders are probably in our top tiers. They're either the top tier of our spend, or they are near top tier. Because at the end of the day, like especially on Amazon, once you go to a certain point, you're going to need more tools to make sure your business can grow, whether it's credit, whether it's tracking, whether it's analytics, multiple accounts, currencies. You probably moved into new markets. You probably need multiple cards to track different expenses, because you can't just expense everything on one card. Well, you can, but do you want to is the question.
Not only that, you the problem is that procrastination, what the people are having starting the business, and this JUNI is really helping people to have a workload less. And also it's saving a lot of time with all of these features and tools. So your workload is really less compared to what you're supposed to have if you are not using this kind of tools or services, combining just under one platform. So that's why it's really helpful to have it JUNI as a service, to use a service for your business as well.
Yeah, and as another bonus, we also do provide a lot of our customers a personal account manager, because again, sometimes you might not always be in your computer, you might not always be able to log into the platform, but if there's something you need, you'll have an account manager that you'll be able to reach out to. So again, we just try to make it as easy as possible, because if the better our customers do, the better we do ourselves.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Is the cash flow is the major problem for many Amazon sellers, and not only Amazon, but everyone. You know, how the JUNI is exactly helping us to save this every cent in our business. Is there any way that what JUNI is offering, like to track easier and to monitor our expenses?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess in at the simplest level, there is the cash back. Of course, everyone loves a little cash back. So we're adding 1% to your margin off the bat. Depending what market you're in, if that's a market that we offer credit now, imagine you have multiple transactions eating away at your cash. So you'll have to have a stock of cash per month just to manage certain expenses for when they might fall. If there's a line of credit that you have, you can just put it on that. You'll know when you have to pay that. Might be able to limit your stock of cash to invest that into another part of the business. And then when it's time to pay up your bill, you pay it off. So that's one of the biggest ways of we're saving on cash flow. And again, when you're able to track transactions and expenses across an account or cards, you'll see things that might not be performing as well, things that might just be a bit too expensive, or stuff you might not actually be using all that much, but you're still paying for. So that's where that's at a really granular level. That's where we start getting to the cash flow that's saved.
Is there any sort of credit that JUNI is offering to Amazon sellers, or in general e-commerce guys?
Yeah, it's the
funding or like kind of funding or credit.
Yeah, so right off the bat, it's just a line of credit that we're offering. We don't have anything that's closed end, like a loan, but it's just the one revolving line of credit that we have. But again, it's revenue based. So there is actually an Amazon seller I'm speaking to now. As we build out that Seller Central integration to get those data streams, we have to manually, with their permission, of course, they'll walk us through their seller store. We'll see how their sales are doing. We'll see what their revenue is looking like. But those are all data points that we can use. Like I meant, again, we're not just looking at 3 bank statements here. There's in e-commerce, there's a plethora of data that we could go through to make sure that we're underwriting this line of credit appropriately.
Do you guys ask for any stipulations for using your services? Do we need to have any minimum spend or something to use your service, or how is that going with starting or opening the accounts or something?
Yeah, so in terms of opening an account, there's no stipulation at all. You just have to be within the markets that we serve. The only real stipulation we have is to have an account manager, you'll need to be spending over 10K a month, and that 10K can of course be across inventory and ad spend as well. But once you're in that 10K space, you will have access to an account manager. So it works for everyone.
Majority of our students who follow the instructions and they launch the product, they already over the 10K. That's the beginning, the first month. So the rest of them is according to, depends on them, of course. It's how you manage your business, how you manage your cash flow. That's why it's really important that if you never had experience in private business and to managing your money, it's a good way to manage at least something with something like JUNI is offering, and to get to follow your money spent, because every dollar is important in any business, not only in Amazon.
Yep, 100%. Because you just need to keep that dollar working for you. That's why the greater free cash flow you have, the more you can invest in the business and scale. Yeah,
of course. Yeah. Can you tell me what kind of, do you have any roadmap for the next year? What you guys are trying to accomplish, and do you have something that you are preparing to launch soon for an e-commerce world?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, one of the biggest ones, one of the most exciting, of course, integrations with bigger stores like Shopify and Amazon. One that could help with tracking, but also with underwriting as well. We are working right now. We do have the integrations with Google and Facebook, because we do want to automate those invoices and attach them to your transactions. The big one that we're going to be doing is with a Gmail integration that will pull any transaction coming through and then attach to any invoice coming to your email and attach to that transaction. Because with that, you're moving beyond ad buying at that point. You're also reconciling for invoices, which is going to make your finance team a lot happier. And it also adds a lot more accountability for everyone, because if you have a team member spending, you don't have to worry about the finance team chasing them around. They have easy access to get it themselves.
Yeah, that's when you speak about Facebook ads and all of these things, I was really let's say not say afraid, but all of these changes in Facebook privacy and privacy of many company. Is there something that can affect us as e-commerce sellers in the future? What your company is seeing, like compares to the privacy policy of these companies like Facebook, that they're always blocking or stopping something, like, for example, they had this with ManyChat, maybe you remember, they changes, and it was not easy to do a funnels through the ManyChat. But is there something that you guys seeing that can affect the e-commerce space? So you are trying to resolve these problems in advance, or how do you track this? Of course, how do you track this market and see, do you have the guys who are especially for this tracking what is happening in the market?
Yeah, so I guess when you talk about the ad houses, right? I'm probably more in tune with the banking side of things. We do have people that really just understand the digital marketing space a bit more.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen and what I know so far, I would say if you're strictly doing your ad buying on Amazon, it's pretty different in a lot of ways from Google and Facebook. Google and Facebook are very similar, but I guess if you were to get geographical about it, you might say that the UK might be Amazon and then mainland Europe is Facebook and Google, simply because the strategies that work on Facebook and Google, or Meta and Google, I should say, don't necessarily work on Amazon. They're very different beasts when it comes to the advertising. Amazon's kind of a closed house. They want to do everything within their one space.
Yeah, and how unique you are as a company compared to the all other companies? I mean, maybe is there someone who is similar to you, or how unique you are with all of these open offerings, of course?
Yeah, so when I first came into it, this was a pretty new model to me, but over time, I've been noticing there's a lot of new businesses coming up with a similar model, the expense management and virtual cards. Yeah, but it really just depends what they're looking at. Our vertical is, we focus on e-commerce. That's it. Some are just saying, well, we're doing this for any type of business. So, I mean, if you're running a flower shop on the corner, they might take your business as well. For us, we might turn that away simply because it's out of our ICP. We want to work with customers that we understand. We're from banking and marketing and e-commerce. We want to focus on these guys.
You're exactly that what the bank is missing. What I was talking with my cousin. So you're trying to be primarily a bank for e-commerce sellers. So when they think about the bank, they think about the JUNI.
Yeah, we position ourselves as a financial companion.
That was the name. I forgot the name. Yes, e-commerce companion, financial companion. Yeah, it's a great way. How many people is in your company now? In the team of JUNI?
Yeah, about 250 now. I remember when I joined. Yeah, I joined in October of last year, and there was about 70 people. So in less than a year, we went from about 70 odd people to 250. So we've seen some major growth. We've got some really good funding based on the work that we've been doing, and we're still just looking to keep that momentum. Especially with the way the market's going now. So like I mentioned before, cash flow is going to be a big thing for a lot of our customers and a lot of people in e-commerce coming this Q4. So we're just looking to make sure that we prepare ourselves and make sure that our customers are prepared for it as well.
Yeah, that's close to my question. The next one, it's do you have any broad prediction for e-commerce space as a company? So because e-commerce is growing every day, and there is a lot of people jumping in e-commerce space. So do you see anything in the future what can happen, or what JUNI also can solve for many people?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if we're just focusing on the markets that we serve now, if we're looking at the UK and Europe, personally, with the looming energy crisis, you might see a lot of logistics prices start going up for a lot of customers in terms of for e-commerce people. They might see that their cost of logistics might go up. Customers might spend less because they might be spending more on on other things like utilities versus buying things on the internet. But with that, we're looking to put in some new what do you call it, financial products. So we have a revolving line of credit, but we also looking to do some other lines of credit as well. That'll basically help you extend the time that you have to pay something back. We look at inventory financing, things like that. We are pretty flexible on our credit terms. After we sign the contract, if you reach out to us, we do have flexible credit, whether it's in limit or length of time. And it really is we just want to help our customers. So if there's a challenge that they're facing, we're pretty open to helping them how they can. I think this time around, we're going to try to give people some breathing room in terms of what's required in terms of payments.
That's great. Kenneth, did you had something to share with us? Did you wanted to share something on a call if you wanted? You told me something on the beginning that maybe you have something to share. Maybe this demo of the dashboard of the JUNI, maybe it will be interesting for people to see how it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, we are actually rebuilding our demo account. So, but once that's done, I can follow up with our team and say, hey, you know, where's this slide? Maybe we could put it with the video if that's all right with you.
That's okay.
I don't have one that's appropriate for.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. So we had almost an hour. It's like 40 minutes of interview. You had. I hope that we answer many questions that people are interested. If someone have a question, of course, they can ask here, but they can also contact you. What is the best way to contact you or the guys when they are interested to use your services?
For sure.
We will also, of course, put the link down under the video. So for everything, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll of course give you my how to do this. I'll put my LinkedIn in the
chat. You can
in the chat here, but you can also reach me at Kenneth at JUNI.
You will write for me, and I will put everything under the video for the rest of the people, of course.
Great. Yeah,
so
there you go.
Your LinkedIn. I believe that we are. I mean, not quite, but I will send you a request on the follow on my LinkedIn account.
Oops.
And for the guys, the link of the company will be also under the video.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that second link is actually the appropriate one. That was a link to my feed, the first one. But yeah, happy to speak to anyone. Happy to hear about your experiences on Amazon as well. Building out the strategy. You never have enough data points and data streams.
Kenneth, thank you for this call. Thank you for all of this valuable information that you are sharing with us. And I hope that your company will reach. You already reached the high level of the position what this service is deserving in e-commerce, and it making our, like I said, workload less and making our life much easier, especially for the people who are jumping in e-commerce space and don't have experience with cash flow and managing the finance on the correct way.
Yeah, of course. And thanks for having me. Always happy to share and learn. So it's always a pleasure, and happy to do it again.
You're welcome. Just stay on the call. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Stay